back to the reminders. Wow, it's good to have you back. Oh, I've missed you guys. I don't know if you have missed me too, but season 3 is back and it's going to be different this time. So I don't know if you remember, we actually released a new book, The Real Hope. And today, with a couple of friends, we're going to be reviewing that book. We'll be looking at some of the chapters, some questions you might have had while you read the book. By the way, if you've not read the book, this is a reminder to get the book. Just get the download link and then you would get a copy of the book. So very quickly, I'm going to introduce my friends and then we'll dive in. So the first person in the house, in the room, is Olamide. Olamide is a very good friend, a mom friend, and she has so much wisdom. You've been on this podcast before, right?
So, yes, I have.
Yeah, once. Yes. So say hello to the.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah.
It's lovely to be here, and I'm looking forward to the wealth of wisdom that God will share through us this evening.
All right. Second person I have with me today is Oluwambo. Oluwambo is a long, old friend, and of course, she has a lot of wisdom as well. This is our first time on the podcast, but I'm sure you're going to learn a lot and you're going to enjoy everything she's going to say. Oluwambo, can you say hi to everyone?
Hello. Thanks for having me here.
All right. And the very special Abisola, my own very special friend. Okay, so Abisola is one special one. She likes to, but I'm not going to say anything today. Abisola, just say hi to the people today.
Hi everyone. How you doing?
Fine. All right, so let's go straight in. The Real Hope was a book. Well, initially I wrote it as a devotional, and it was inspired because I feel like everybody goes through stuff. Everybody has something they're dealing with, and the truth is, at every point in our lives, we're dealing with something. We're going through something. Something is in your mind, and I feel like the answer to that most of the time is that hope. Just finding the strength to hold on to hope. And I think that was the place where I started writing from. And I think that's the first question on my list today. So I'm going to ask you, Oluwambo. I said everyone has something they are dealing with. That is simply part of life in a broken world. What do you think? Do you think everybody truly has something they are going through?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. Okay, I would start by saying that, problems are part of life, and we all have one or two things we deal with. We go through stuff. We always face problems, challenges at different phases of our lives. So I think that the genesis of these problems are from the days of Adam and Eve, when they had a fall in the Garden of Eden. And since then, humanity has been exposed to sin. We've been exposed to the experiences of good and evil. And due to this fall, we encounter problems on a daily basis. But however, what I think as believers we should do when we are faced with problem is to look at it from God's perspective. Because this world is like an hopeless world, and for us to live above it, we need to look at our situations from God's perspective. Most times I feel that problems are made to grow us, to grow our capacity, to grow our competence, and to grow our fellowship with God. Most times we go through stuff and we feel that, how can I solve this issue? Is this a generational problem? Is this a spiritual attack? But most times these things are not spiritual attacks. They are basically tools in the hand of God to prune us. They are basically tools in the hand of God to reform us, to transform our life. We might be dealing with, anything really, but it's the way we look at it and our response to them that really matters. Because in the book of John 16 verse 33, the Bible was talking about in this world we'll face tribulations, but we should be of good cheer because God has overcome the world for us. So, looking at it from that perspective, our response as believers should be that we are fighting from victory. That's the disposition we should have when we face situations or when we are faced with problems, really. So, when we look at it from that perspective, we're able to go or counter those problems from the angle that I am working from victory. I'm not working to get it. I'm not working for victory. I'm working from, because it's what you already have as believers. And secondly, I think Psalm 37 verse 19 was talking about that in this world that many are the afflictions of the righteous, but God delivers them. So from that Bible passage, I was able to understand that at the Bible, the God didn't promise us that we will not face problem as believers. It even says many, like there are many. So we will always face them from one season of our life to another. There will always be something we are dealing with. But our disposition, our reaction to them really matters.
Yeah, thank you so much, Oluwambo. So from what you said, which I know is very true, nobody is exempted from problems. And you know, even these things we call challenges or problems, it can be as little as having a bad day, trying to figure something out at work, trying to get through a project. And sometimes it's big, you know, it can be as big as, I don't know, something is going on in your life and it's really significant. But whatever it is, I like what you said about doing it from a place of victory. Yeah. So no one is exempted, not even being a Christian.
No one exempted from problems. Really, I think the only person without a problem is a dead person. If you're still on this earth, you definitely have challenges. And problems are not respected of anyone, your age, gender, social status. Even the rich cries, so they've got something they're dealing with. So even a day-old baby, sometimes they come with issues. So no one is exempted from these problems that we're talking about. And just like we said, just like I said the other time, we should see them from God's perspective. Get the word of God concerning what you're dealing with, then act on the word. So those are the things that can really help us when we are faced with challenges of life. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. All right, I'll just face you now, Abishala. I think I wrote something in the introduction of that book. I said, we can enjoy life even in our season of waiting. So do you think that can we live fully? Like, can we really live our best life while we're still waiting, even in that season where we don't have everything we want? What do you think?
I truly and sincerely believe that we can. You can't keep your life on hold because you're waiting for something. Because the truth is, you then press pause while you're waiting on it, and then the thing comes, and you're not supposed to be in that particular season. You know, when the thing comes, you're supposed to meet you like probably like in your next season and everything. It just like doesn't make sense. So I would say that it's not just you even waiting. How are you waiting for that particular thing, right? You're single, and then you decided to, you know, I'm not going to travel, I'm going to wait for my significant other, I'm not going to buy the house. By the time you meet your significant other, the interest rate will have increased. So you had the opportunity to buy the house while it was probably 1.something% interest rate, but because you're waiting on something that, you know, God, I think I heard someone say that marriage is not a promise, it's a, I can't remember how the person said it, more like God has already promised you a good life. But if marriage comes for you, that's a good thing. Accept with a thanksgiving. So imagine me waiting on, you know, the partner that probably would never show up, and then you never do the things that you're supposed to do. You never get the further education, you never buy the house and the likes like that. And another thing that some people do is they take themselves away from the scene of what they want. So for example, you're probably waiting on God for children, you stop going for naming ceremonies. You're supposed to be where it is happening. Like I think they say that rejoicing call on to like other rejoicing. So whatever it is that you sort of like familiarize yourself with, that's sort of like what your subconsciousness would relate to. So your friend just gave birth, go there, help out, right? So that your spirit will see that, yeah, this is what it is. Not like, I can't be there, everybody's getting married. No, go there, be there, serve people. Like, one of the things that Pastor Poju will always say is, someone has something that you want, it means that God is in your neighborhood. Now, someone is traveling out and you want to like travel as well, right? Ask them, do you need me to do your market runs for you? Do you need me to wash your box for you? Like, just do something. Serve while waiting. I think essentially that's what you ought to do. Serve while waiting. Pray to God. It's the season to do much more than ever before for God. You're not waiting because, oh, another thing that some people do is, okay, maybe in this season, let me serve more so that God will see that I'm a good person. No, God already sees your heart anyway, so it's not about all of that. But while you're waiting, everybody can see your service. Everybody can see your art. You're serving while waiting, because waiters at the restaurant, what do? They serve, right? So you're supposed to serve with all of your art. Don't put your life on hold. Live to the fullest. Because when the children comes, you probably then have to start thinking about how to travel. While when it was just you and probably your husband, you guys can decide tomorrow we're traveling. If you're single, you can decide that, you know what, my friend and I, we are going hiking. You don't need to necessarily call anyone except for your parents to say, oh, excuse me, my friends and I are hanging out and all of that. Just live your life to the fullest while you're expectant for what you're waiting for on God, and serve other people, serve the people that have the results that you're looking to God for while you're waiting for it.
Yeah. I have something to say. I think it's just the human in us that make us do that. And just like you said, our life is in the process, like it's a journey. I remember my boss back then, they waited, I think, 11 years before they eventually had their children. And in that season, they built their company, they got some of their brand deals abroad and everything. And so at the time those children came along, things were already sorted to the point that they were able to like go give birth in their choice destination. The children had like what they really wanted. But if they had waited and said, oh, like we're waiting for this part of, or if they had wallowed in self-pity and they weren't showing up, because that's the thing that we do most times. We wallow in self-pity. Some people leave their cliques of friends and they think that, oh, I can't measure up to these people, I don't want to talk to these people because I don't have something big going on. And it's about we trying to say that we must have something big going on. I must have something to say that I am doing in the midst of my friends. So you recline, you're not showing up anymore. And I think that I've been guilty of that even in the past. I'll just be like, okay, I'm waiting for this to happen. And then there was a time a friend of mine, she was in a country where her stability wasn't secure and she was going through a lot, but she would still be going on vacations. She would still be showing up for the people that she loves. Like, she was doing everything. And I was just taken aback. I was like, how are you able to be in this space? She was like, well, whatever I do, it doesn't change what's going to happen. So why not just leave? Because in 2-3 years, I'm not going to have this moment again. And then the Bible also says that we should not be slothful, but followers of those who will through faith and patience obtain the promise. And so those are things that we're supposed to be. We're human, yes, but the word of God is there for us as an anchor, and I think that's what we should lean on. So to answer that question, like you answered already, we can live our lives while waiting.
I think another problem would be that it's okay to feel it, like I'm waiting on you for. It's okay to have downtime, like it's okay. But what is not okay is to make it your personality. Like every time they call you, you're always going through something. Like, calm down. Everyone was going through something, and it's not like God is delaying it. It's probably a season to go through character development. It's a season to build capacity, right? It's a season to go through the fire so that you can be refined. It's not delay. Like, God is a benevolent God that what you will need in 20 years before you were born, He has already made it. Or you need to go through a season of character development that when you have that what you need, that thing that you're asking God for, you'll be able to manage it well. You will even be able to help other people going through like similar thing. But if you don't do it, if you don't sort of like go through that season, I'm probably going to be like a wasteful person, a slothful person, because there's no character development anywhere and all of that, and you're just like offered whatever it is on a platter of gold.
Or you probably would not even get there because you need that character to be able to enter into that season.
And just to contribute to what you said about don't be that person that is always going through something. The truth is there will always be something.
Yes.
Whether it's small, whether it's significant. So you don't want to be that person that is always moody when there's something. So if I trace my life back, when I was in uni, it was like I just want this phase to pass. There were difficulties. I think I was talking recently about how there were days I would do a long walk, not because I wanted to walk, but because I didn't have enough money at that time in my life, and I was even surviving on 1 meal a day. But because, I knew, oh, this phase will pass, I was doing that. And there was a time, okay, it was like this phase is over, but there was something else. It was like, oh, when will I get a job? And then I got the job. But it's like, oh, this job is too difficult. In fact, I faced the challenge the first year of my job. We were 4, we resumed on the same day, the same department, and they all left me to do better things, in quotes, And I was feeling like, oh, why am I still here?
Right.
So there is always something. And then the next logical thing was get married. I got married, first year of our marriage, we're waiting for some things, and it's like when this phase passes, there'll be something.
There will always be.
Always be something.
There will always be something. Yeah.
So why not just live your best life? I like, there's this series Joyce Meyer does. I think she does it every day, enjoying your everyday life. I think that's what she calls it. Every day has to be enjoyed. You have to live to the fullest, like you guys have said.
Yeah, just one more thing. I learned this the hard way. So my sister was telling me to do like apply for a visa for a particular country, and she was saying how immigration laws change and all of that, like ever so often. But I'm like, I'm currently on a visa that would expire soon, and one of my friends applied and she was denied because of the same thing. She was like, but that's your friend. Have you even applied? But I didn't apply. And then when I would say I'm probably like on a better one, to say, okay, let me give it a go now, they would approve it. Before I decided to go, the country changed their rule.
Wow.
It was no longer the 5-year route they give people. It was now 3 months, 1 entrance. And I'm like, I wish I had seized the time and season. I think it's always about understanding that times and season. Times and season. That's another thing to note in waiting, so that you know that this is the time to build. This is the time that there's nothing you can do about it. So just leave.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
Yeah, knowing when to just let go. I think letting go of control can be hard, but sometimes that season is not going anywhere.
Yeah.
The only way is through, and you have to wait. Let go of control totally. Thank you so much wisdom here.